Let's be very clear. Governor Kemp wants to be a U.S. Senator. Secretary of State Raffensperger wants to be governor. And they're not going to topple the corrupted system that helped both of them get to where they already are. Tyler, you're an attorney. You've had a chance to read this ruling. I must say, I am not surprised. Georgia is an epically corrupt place, and this is an epically a corrupt system. But what happened today, and how do you analyze it?
Well, it's a shame because I think Judge McAfee really gave everybody a head fake when he essentially made it appear as though he was allowing a wide berth for all this evidence of corruption to be introduced, and brazen corruption to where, the entire members of the staff were basically lying about the case. You had, I mean, in my view, outright perjury going on. And here we have a decision which essentially leaves the central culprit, Fani Willis, as she's not Fani, okay, like as President Trump is fond of saying at his rallies, it's Fani. She absolutely has skated, and it's a choice between she can either get rid of Wade or she has to leave. I mean, that's not really. I mean, it's just like basically throwing Wade on over the side, and the good ship Fani keeps on trucking along with her corruption. And she is such a psychopath. I don't think anything's going to stop her. In fact, she'll be more defiant now. I mean, that entire the entire hearings, like the course of the hearings, it was such a disgrace and such a mockery. I mean, it just really made a mockery of justice and showed you just how incompetent, corrupt, and really just self-dealing these people are, and the lengths they will go to absolve themselves of what are obvious corruption and conflicts of interest, and yet meanwhile persecute Donald Trump and these others on totally phonied up charges. But I think the judge, it's very unfortunate because in his ruling, I mean, it's only 23 pages, but clearly he lays out the factual basis for disqualification, yet then says, I'm not going to disqualify her. And I don't see how you go on with the amount of corruption and perfidy, and frankly, just all sorts of craziness that's going on in that office, how anybody can have public confidence. And the whole point of a disqualification, the whole point of the system is, the appearance, even the appearance of impropriety is enough to disqualify usually, or to take action, because of that exact reason, that it shakes faith in the system. And prosecutors have a much higher responsibility. They don't have just typical attorney professional responsibilities. They also have additional responsibilities because they're supposed to be vicars of justice, not merely just, gunslinging lawyers or attorneys for whatever, anything goes. So, I'm kind of surprised. I really thought this judge was going to go the full distance and just knock this whole piece of garbage out. But I think it's going to then all come down to the Georgia Senate, potentially, Governor Kemp, who's obviously, the problem is all the never Trumper rhinos, Raffensperger, who lied to Trump on that phone call when he said that there was no issue with any of the ballots, when clearly there are absolutely issues. Thousands of them were cast by people who didn't live at the addresses they claimed or had moved away. And, he said, oh, no, there's no problems at all. So Raffensperger really was the liar. And it's, he unwittingly, when he probably illegally recorded that phone call, captured his own lies. And it's a disgrace. And you see Peter Navarro having, denied his appeal, has to go to report to prison, I guess it's today or in a couple of days, whatever it is. So we're kind of making progress on some fronts, but this was, where this goes from here, who knows? But I mean, I think it's a shambles no matter what, even in the public eye. So I don't know what, how far I don't think it'll go. It will not be tried before the election. So, we'll see where it goes after that, I guess.
Well, of course, I'm obviously always looking for the silver lining. And if there is any, I think this is once again going to inure to President Trump's political benefit. It may not inure to his legal or financial benefit, but people across the country who watch those hearings, they have to be outraged. People who've seen the fact pattern here have to be outraged. It just makes it more obvious to voters that this is a setup, that this is a corrupted, politically motivated act of election interference. Also, in all honesty, I think Fani Willis is incompetent. And we know that Nathan Wade, who previously was a personal injury attorney, certainly unprepared to try a complicated RICO case, was not fit for the job, but neither is she. I never, under any circumstances, thought that the case itself was going to be kicked. Let's be very clear. Governor Kemp wants to be a U.S. Senator. Secretary of State Raffensperger wants to be governor. And they're not going to topple the corrupted system that helped both of them get to where they already are. So even if she had been disqualified today, that meant that you'd probably get a more competent prosecutor out of the state attorney general's office in her place. Sadly, I think there's more than enough evidence to dismiss this case, but clearly that is not going to happen.
A man who's gone through hell, but he's kept going, and he's smart and he's strong, and people love him. Not everybody, but people love him and respect him. Roger Stone. Where's Roger Stone?